Op filled everyone else's stocking but hers is still empty. TOMC December 23, 22. Originally posted by you, just at row away 5446 in R, true off my chest on December 23, 22. Updated in the same post a couple days later. Original post. Bought stockings for everyone and mine is the only one that's empty. I've never had a stocking for Christmas before and this year my boyfriend said we should get one. For everyone. Us and our 3 roommates. And hang them up. I was really excited about it and had a bunch of ideas for what I could put in everyone's stocking. So I've been filling them up with various little items. Themed socks, candy, mini liquor bottles, etc. Today I was putting a couple of more things in them when I realized that mine is completely empty. All the others, even the dogs, are filled to the brim and mine is completely flat. It just made me really sad. Like I said, I've never had a stocking before, so I was looking forward to seeing what had been put in mine, but I guess I've been the only one participating. All the roommates saw the stockings and also expressed excitement about them, but I don't know they guess forgot about it. I don't know how when they're hanging up and everyone has been commenting on them like every day. I don't want to bring it up to my BF because I know he'll just feel bad about it, but it's making me really sad. Guess I won't get a stocking this year after all. Update. Sorry, I forgot to write an update. And we just opened gifts yesterday as well. But basically the majority of you guys were right. Roommates didn't care, so they didn't add anything to the stockings. But my boyfriend did come through and filled mine up, smiling face with hearts, and I didn't realize it until we were going through the stockings. But my best friend, who doesn't live with us, also added things to my stocking. I had told her how sad I was about it, and so she added some things. It was so sweet of her, smiling face with hearts. Sue, roommates suck but boyfriend and best friend made up for it. Edit. Forgot to add that my boyfriend said he hadn't had a chance to put my gifts in the stocking, that's why it was still empty, but it did end up getting filled. Heart. Also, I didn't realize how many of you were so invested in my Christmas story. Last I saw this post it had like 300 upvotes. Thank you so much for all the well wishes and for the awards. What exactly do I do with those? Lol. And I hope everyone had a good holiday weekend. And Happy New Year. Red heart, you're all so sweet. This is also something that happens to a lot of moms, updating to let's just say this happens to parents. Not meaning to exclude anyone. Stuff like this is so sad. You care about others and then you get nothing back in return. I know Oop boyfriend came through, but so many others got nothing. It makes me both sad and angry. I was about 10 when I realized that I needed to be in charge of getting my mom gifts for Christmas, her birthday or any other holiday, because my father just didn't care. In his world, I guess gifts just mysteriously materialize out of thin air. The first year my daughter gave me a stocking, I cried. I hadn't had one since my mother died. My DH never noticed that I always filled one for him and daughter but never had one. My kid still mails me things that would go in a stocking if she lived near us. Well, stockings shouldn't be filled before Christmas. Santa fills them during the night. But me, mom and dad get gifts for each other's stockings and put the presents in during the night. If the roommates agreed to the stockings, then yes, they suck for not contributing. But if Oop and her BF haven't exchanged gifts with the roommates before, or they acted unilaterally and just bought stockings without the roommates agreeing to fill, then this is entirely Oop and her BF's fault. I've had roommates, and if one of them had randomly decided to buy a stocking and hang it up, I'd leave it empty too. Something about people expecting gifts without discussing a gift exchange first really bothers me. Also, you don't fill the stocking till Xmas Eve. I had to check the comments on the original post, and I guess people didn't want to hurt OOP's feelings because of the nature of the sub, and also it was close to Christmas. If Oop and her boyfriend unilaterally decided on giving the housemates extra gifts through the stockings, they should have treated it like a donation. I enjoy giving people gifts on my own accord, but the minute it's like a mandated company Christmas party, I want to blow my brains out. Did they even ask the roommates if they wanted to take part in this tradition? It reads like Oop and her BF were up for it, and never asked anyone else if they wanted in. I get that people like gift exchanges, but I bought stuff for everyone without asking them, and now I'm sad. BC, I expected them to buy me stuff too, is the black heart of why I hate gift exchanges. If this were an AITA post, people would call her an off for forcing this on her roommates when it's her BF who talked with her about it, who should have been the only person expected to give, which he did. Christmas gift giving sets up so much room for disappointment for no good reason. Forgot to add that my boyfriend said he hadn't had a chance to put my gifts in the stocking. That's why it was still empty, but it did end up getting filled. I wonder if a different perspective on this is my best friend, who doesn't live with us, allowed me to vent to her about how sad it was making me, and then, after I'd left, she called my boyfriend and had a quiet or not so quiet word with him. Did Oop explain the rules first? I've never heard of this tradition. Yes, we hang stockings up, but that's purely for kids. And Santa fills the stocking, not housemates. I have decided we're all doing this thing. Quote, why has nobody done the thing? I specifically requested it. Quote, feeling underappreciated sucks. But people who volunteer others for things then get put out because the volunteers aren't interested are exhausting. Emo. I didn't go to the original thread, but I'm kinda confused. I'm bloody old, but when I was a kid, empty stockings were placed at the end of your bed on Christmas Eve. Christmas morning you'd wake up to a filled stocking. Invariably, you're trying to figure out what it's filled with by touch. When my kids were little, same thing. They now have kids. Same thing. Stockings are always empty until very last thing Christmas Eve. Who fills them before this? Lol. Santa fills the stockings after you've fallen asleep on Christmas Eve, duh. This reminds me of a college roommate I had. There were 4 of us living together who decided to do Christmas together before we left for break. We all talked about what we wanted and what we bought for the others. We even set up a tree and started putting wrapped gifts under them. She was so excited and seemed into it. Cut to our last night together and a completely blank look on her face. She claimed she had no idea we were exchanging gifts and bought nothing for anyone else. She did take her gifts though, and then just never came back. Apparently she enrolled in some leadership program and forgot to tell the school. The university had to change the locks because she still had her keys. She also left a bunch of random stuff behind and emailed to ask us to give it to her friends. I'm the weird one here apparently. We had stockings but never to my recollection filled them when I was growing up or even later, lol. Yet I do give stocking stuffers. Just not in the actual stocking. Weird. I have for since my ex-husband wouldn't bother to get me anything on Christmas. I always brought at least 10 little gift socks, etc. So I started my own tradition of wrapping gifts for myself throughout the year. I see a cute pair of socks I like in the sale, boom, wrapped for Christmas. Long after my pos ex became an ex. I still do this even though my partner gets me stuff. A bit of self-love never hurt anyone. Honestly, the only not awkward way of going about this is with the mindset you are doing something special for your roommates. Doesn't sound like the roommates necessarily agreed to the tradition. I would have filled up my own stocking along with everyone else's, lol. Once I remember overhearing a cousin when he was about 4 ask why he and his dad got a stocking but she didn't, and then my former uncle tell her to make sure she filled hers next year. She looked so defeated. Heaven forbid he actually do anything for her. He was a loser and no one was sad when she divorced him despite his best efforts at making himself the victim. Her new husband fills a stocking for her every year now. I had my son as a teen and I was a single mom. So for Christmas I would fill my own stocking and wrap a few things for myself to put under the tree so that Christmas morning we would both get to have a visit from Santa. It felt weird not to do that. So I got a few little things like cheap Walmart shirts and lotion. Nothing crazy. One year my asshole boss took me off the schedule for the weeks leading up to Christmas, so I just took care of my son's things and didn't worry about my Santa gifts. Well, my son wasn't used to me getting nothing and he cried his eyes out on my behalf and tried to hand me his unwrapped gifts and insisted I get his stocking. He's a teenager now. I'm still a single mom. And you better believe every year I still wrap my own little gifts and fill up my stocking.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.